Well, in the news or panel discussion, I guess you would call this video, for May the 17th, 2018, Thursday. I wonder how many of you out here have a YouTube channel? Have you tried to start one or create one yourself? It's a lot of work. Um, as of last year, I have been demonetized, which means, when I was monetized, I never really made any money from the videos either. I didn't make any money from them, from Google. But I have been demonetized as of January last year. And I didn't really make a big deal about it because I wasn't really getting paid for anything anyway. But yet, I just did this as a free channel, but I do get donations from some of you all out there who do tithe or send us a donation every so often. And I do appreciate all those when they come in. But like I said, please subscribe down below here. There's a little subscribe button right here. I mean, on my screen it looks left, but when it plays back it's inverted, so everything looks like it's on the right. So like when I put my hand on the left of the screen when I'm recording, that's the way I see it. But when you see it, it'll be inverted, and my hand will be on the right hand of the screen. So just hit that subscribe button and share these posts. But I want to start this conversation off with a preface of giving you some things to think about. Many things are being censored today, and it's wrong because YouTube's term of services have changed a whole lot, and they keep changing. But the thing is, when they first started YouTube back in the early 2000s, that's about almost 20 years ago. It's about almost that long, 18 some years ago. YouTube's mission was to be an equal platform and to be open to all people. And a part of being able to shoot YouTube on there is to be able to monetize so they could put commercials on your videos. Now, whether you're monetized, meaning you make money, or you don't make money from YouTube, they still monetize your videos anyway. And I think they should, because it is a free service that you use, so they can still make money off the commercials or the ads that you do. But I think they should give you a percentage of it, because I've never seen the first commission check from YouTube yet when I first became a subscriber back in 2010. But I've not seen it. And here we're at 2018. So, I think speech should be fair for everyone. And I think it doesn't matter if you're left or if you're right, or if you're straight or if you're weird, even though I don't agree with that. But if you are that way, it doesn't matter, because you have a right to speak your mind if you are that way anyway. If you're black or white or whatever you are, if you're white supremacist, whether you're Ku Klux Klan or whatever you are, everybody has a right to say their views from whatever they believe in, and they're allowed to speak from their platform. That's what YouTube was built on. I think, I'm along with Lisa Haven, what she said today in her video she put out on censorship. I think it's very true that we need, in telling, that we should all band together, and we should all keep everybody on there, because that's what YouTube's mission statement was from the very beginning, from the nucleus, when YouTube first came about from Google, was to be fair and to be an open platform for everyone. That's what it said in the EULA, because I remember reading it. And of course, now they changed it a lot, but those people that are in there trying to keep it that way still, please continue and work harder to speak out against all the corruption that Google is doing and what they're trying to do with YouTube, because YouTube is part of Google. I know some of you all can argue and say, well, they're corporations, they can do whatever they want. And yeah, they can, but a lot of times when corporations get big, they get greedy. And a lot of times what happens, they're not always in it for the people's sake when it comes to the price of being a corporation. So often what happens is what was good for everybody ends up being something bad. And then what you end up having is a dying thing, like YouTube could be a dying thing. If they start censoring everybody, then everybody's going to go somewhere else. And YouTube's going to lose their viewers. They're going to lose their people that are on here. Because if they keep nitpicking and censoring people, they're going to censor pretty much everybody. Now, they said on the news in a statement, they said that they weren't doing that, but that's a lie, because they are. Because, I know some people for a fact, like InfoWars is being censored right now. And I know for a fact that Mr. Frenchy, who does his news updates, his daily news updates, are being censored too. And I know that just to name a couple other things, even Dabu 7 has been censored some. So I know, just to name three of them, that people that I know that I share the links everywhere are being censored, somewhat. And I see breaking news now today. Their videos are not showing. Instead, it shows a link because they're being sort of censored or shadow banned. YouTube said they weren't doing that, and they weren't censoring people, but they lied because they are. And now they're pulling it back, as they said yesterday in Congress, that they weren't, and that they had a malfunction in there. Well, I hope this is a malfunction, but I don't know why more people are being censored, because it don't look like a malfunction to me. It looks like it's part of their agenda. I mean, they keep saying we're only like 2 years behind the UK, the way the model, the Narconian type of censorship they have on their internet, and like the other world has. And eventually, is that going to happen here? Or are they going to just shut everybody's voice off because they don't want those voices to be heard, because they want everybody to follow the one-sided narrative that the other dinosaur media puts out there? And I'm not going to say their names because you could be sued. But the dinosaur media means everybody else that isn't independent. I think that covers all of them. And, I don't think that's fair, how they will always bash Trump and say things against Trump, or even say outright lies against Trump, and then in the same breath say, oh, this is real news, when really it's not real news at all. It's just it's real lies is what it is. And, why are all these things only one-sided narratives? I mean, when it's freedom of speech and when you tell news, the art of telling real news is getting all sides, not just telling it one-sided. I mean, if you're going to call it that, then you might as well just call it One View News. Because a lot of the dinosaur media is just like that. They have one view on something, and that's the way they do it. See, here we try to get it from all views, and that's all my other friends in independent media, which are a lot of us, in the conservative view, are all trying to do the same thing. We're telling the story on multiple dimensions, on multiple views, not just one. And that's the way I like to do reporting. Like I'll say, some people suggest it might be this, or some people say it could be this. But we'll be able to tell, depending on where the chips fall. I've said that. You heard me say those lines similar in other YouTube videos. So YouTube, helped me to get my channel out, and I appreciate that. But YouTube did not build this channel. I did. This channel is just as much as your channel as it is my channel, because you are a large part of why this channel exists and why I do the news reports and do other church stuff on here. It's because of you. You are the one. You really are. And only you are what make this channel possible, because this channel is just as much, like I said, it's just as much as your very channel as it is mine. And if we start censoring everybody, there won't be any more channels. I mean, I'll have to go to different alternative platforms. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And it's sad, but it is true that, we're going to probably have to do that if YouTube keeps doing this. And, and a lot of people, they're going to lose a lot of people that are conservative. And maybe that's the way they want to do the platform. But it's not going to last. And most platforms that act like this and take these measures, like, remember MySpace used to be a real big social media place before Facebook came to reality. Facebook kind of took the place of MySpace, but MySpace is still out. But you realize that MySpace is nothing like it once was. You know why? Because they were doing a lot of similar things like what YouTube's doing. You think YouTube would take notice that, hey, it didn't work with MySpace, this is not going to work with YouTube either. I would hope they would look at that and learn from it. I would hope so. And, because a lot of conservatives are on YouTube. I mean, we got churches on YouTube. My church is on YouTube. Many churches on YouTube. Many denominations. I watch them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And there are a lot of different views about how people think about things individually. And I say if I don't have social skills, like somebody put it to me yesterday, I was kind of shocked to see, but they're following me and they're watching my videos. So apparently my social skills must be good enough because they are watching my videos and they're still following me as a subscriber. Um, so apparently they must not be too bad uh, in order for them to watch these videos, and I appreciate it. But it was kind of weird how this lady how the lady said that to me, because I still don't understand what she's saying about that. Because when you're on a blog, it's not like you're talking to people. You're talking into a camera and a device. And it's kind of hard to gauge what other people would say or how you would conversate, because when you're talking to someone, you're kind of putting your view out there and what you think and your take. And that's how it is on a lot of blogs. And I don't know if you ever watched YouTube that much, but pretty much a lot of blogs are similar, like mine. And they have their own flair and their own style. And I don't think I have a social skill problem. Maybe you just don't like my style of reporting. I don't know. Or maybe you don't like the way I say stuff. Or, sometimes when you're mad, you're not going to have the right social skills. Like on some of these videos where you see me, I was really angry. So yeah, you're not going to be social skilled really that much when you're angry. Nobody usually is. And I don't think you would have the skills like you would normally have if you were angry. And I said that to you in the courthouse. Because it's true. If you're angry, you're not going to have the best social skills, right? Well, it's the same true as for me. It's true about that with me as well. Anybody gets angry and you're saying something out of anger, you're not going to be as social as you would be if you weren't angry. So that's just a given. And these blogs are not just one-sided. We try to do these blogs on a multi-dimensional feel. If you watched all my videos, I mean, there's almost 2,000 videos here. So there's plenty to watch. Believe me. There's hours and hours and hours of programming that are on here for you to watch of all kinds of stuff. Not just Harbor Square or no. That's just a small portion of the news. There's a lot more stuff on here that don't even have nothing to do with that. So, if you only watch a few videos, then you just barely scratch the surface of what this channel is really about, and what this channel is really about at all, really. And this channel talks about a wide variety of topics. Tomorrow we'll be talking, or probably more detailed tomorrow, we'll be talking about microwaves, how they're used to create or to manufacture or manipulate the earth to cause earthquakes or to make the weather severe, and how the military of most developed countries have this technology, and they're able to do this. And it's very scary. They say it takes about 1,000,000 watts of a microwave. It takes 1,000,000 watts to produce a microwave that big to set off an earthquake. And they say the technology they have, they can do this with pinpoint precision. Wherever they want to let off one in the world, they can basically set one off anywhere. And that's pretty scary when you think about it. The government has technology, militaries of the world have this technology, elite countries have it. That's scary, because I don't think that technology should ever be in anyone's hands, really. How you can play God and create earthquakes and create storms, or even makes a hurricane to be a superstorm or a severe weather outbreak. Or even how you can create a storm or even collapse a storm with different levels of microwave intensity burst. So basically what they do is they take this piece of equipment up in the sky, I'll just go ahead and tell you now, since we're on here, and they aim this laser beam up into the atmosphere where the ionosphere is, and they shoot 1,000,000 watts of microwaves up there. That's what's in that laser beam. And in the ionosphere, it's full of magnetic energy. And what it does is it actually amplifies that, because that's where all the radio waves go, is in the ionosphere. That's how you're able to pick up your radio, not just by the tower emitting the signal, but it bounces off the ionosphere, because it shoots a small amount of radiation up there and bounces it off in a certain area. That's how you're able to pick up your radio station where you live, because it does work off of the ionosphere. Well, they use the same technology, but they do it with microwaves. So let's say if we wanted to make a hurricane or it strengthen it into a huge or make it a real big, colossal, horrible storm. We could do that with a microwave burst. Or let's say we want to cause an earthquake in Manhattan, New York. I'm not saying they're going to do this, but let's say if they did, they could just hit burst a 1,000,000-watt microwave burst up there off the ionosphere. And what the ionosphere does is it takes that microwave and shoots it up there to the top level of the atmosphere, and it bounces it off like a boomerang, and then hits the point where they want it in the earth, and that's what causes the earthquake. Now, as I said over there in China, as someone reported that you'll see lights in the sky right before an earthquake happens. Well, people over there in the area before an earthquake happened, just within hours before it happened in China, there were these lights up in the sky because the microwaves, that's what it does after one goes off. Because the government has invented what is called microwave weapons, which are very dangerous because you don't even know if they're using them on you. I mean, they can do everything. They can kind of cook you from the inside out with this technology. They can do a wide variety of things where they could do something to you and you don't even know it because the equipment that you have, you wouldn't be able to detect it. So what we have to do is develop technologies to be able to detect these microwaves when they are using them, when they have bursted one over your city. And we have to create a device that would absorb that microwave burst before it hit the ground. And we would have to come up with that technology because, the military, I'm sure, has that technology. But, they're not going to give it to us. So us civilians and people that work in that sector would have to leak it out somehow. So we could create technology to prevent the weather from being changed or to prevent these earthquakes from happening. Because the government has killed people in the past. Our government has. And even other governments of the world that have technology similar to this has killed people. So what's going to stop from doing that now? That's what I'm trying to get you all to wake up to. This technology is real. It does exist. It's very dangerous. And it's something you need to know about. It's not to be afraid or be in fear, but it's something you need to know about so we can work on ways on how to combat this thing. So we can detect these things when they let these burst off in the ice. We need to make a microwave detector, so that we have something that can detect microwaves that are being let off in the air or in, overhead, so that microwaves can be detected. And then we need to have something that can capture the microwave if it were to hit over a given town or city. Because somebody could release this microwave on the other side of the world and they could hit New York City or D.C. or Richmond, Virginia, and we could have a horrible earthquake. And, that's why I wonder if all these earthquakes we're having, are they natural? A lot of them are, but are some of these man-made earthquakes because they're being controlled by the government or by some other government that doesn't like America, that wants to wipe everybody out so they can buy up this land and change it into whatever they want to build casinos or to whatever they do with this land. But, there's a lot of people that would love to really destroy us. They really are vowed to. There's lots of people that would love to destroy America and make us no more. And if people have this technology like we possess, then these people could probably use that technology against us to do that if we weren't sure or didn't know that they were doing it before they did it. And we have to have something. You know how there are ways to intercept missiles? Well, there's got to be a way to intercept microwave bursts in the atmosphere so you can disbound them before they hit the earth. In the same way you would stop a missile from blowing up something. That's the way you would do it with microwaves, to be able to stop it from it hitting off from the ionosphere. If you knew one was coming, to your direction, in your city, your town, and you had a way where you can intercept that thing in the air and neutralize it before it hit the ground. That's what we need to make technology for, because that's what we need to do to save cities and to save lives. So that's just something to think about. Not to be scared of, but this technology is really real. Folks, they do have it. There was an earthquake, I think it was in Poland. I think it was last month. Or no, it was in Japan. In a city in Japan. Like a city out, one of the cities out in Japan. They decided to go against something. Well, they sent an earthquake there that toppled all the buildings and shook them really bad. And all of a sudden, the people in that area changed their mind and decided to go with the government on a vote. So I'm wondering, are they going to be doing this stuff worldwide, even here, to get people to change their mind on things that you disagree with, but yet to scare you enough by engineering, earthquakes and severe weather, or to get people to change their mind, they could, because other government. We do believe that earthquake that happened in Japan last month may have been because of that reason, because it was man-made and it was not natural. That's what a lot of people think. So anyway, that's just some of the stuff in the news and a little bit on free speech, because free speech is very important, whether it's online or whether it's in the real world, like you speaking with somebody. Your freedom of speech is very precious. If anybody tries to take that away, and I mean anybody, then they're taking away your freedom. And if they can take away that freedom, you better bet you they'll take away all the other freedoms too. Don't you forget that. So you remember, your freedom is precious. Don't let them censor people on the web. Don't let them try to censor your speech in the real world either. Because I don't care who you are. You have a right to say what you want to say, and YouTube should keep everything open and keep everything as an open platform like they started when they started this thing. Because that's what's going to make YouTube keep continuing to make money. And that's what's going to help YouTube to continue to grow. Because that's what their mission was. And that's the way YouTube needs to keep it. This is Michael DeSilvas in the news update for freedom. Because freedom is what works. Take care, guys. I love you.